Zoom meeting.
Yeah, Nilanjan, I'm sharing the video. So don't you see my Titanic data example? Jupyter Lab.
No, it is visible.
Yeah, I think it was stuck. So you can see this is a very small piece of code which can make your task easier for dealing with ordinal values. One thing more, make a note of this. If you have large, generally interview question and nobody does it when if they are not working in real situations. Okay, if you have a data of file, say 20 GB,
Okay.
right? How do you do with pandas?
Okay.
Got my question?
Yes.
You know why people will ask it?
Yes.
Right? So in pandas, I generally show it in the project phase, but in pandas you have options. What you can do is you can one option is you can do like this n rows, but it will load only first few. Like if you don't want to, you have a huge file, you don't want to load all the file, right? You want to load only first 10 rows to see what is there in the file.
Okay.
Understood, right? You'll do this n rows is equal to 10.
Through head also we can.
Yeah, but for head, right, you have to load the entire file. If the file is of 20 GB,
right,
it will not be possible.
Okay, so while shading itself, we are taking
n rows. Okay, common, very important, and forget about interview. You'll need it as of you start working on it. Okay. Then second thing that you need to know is a I wrote it here. I think I wrote it here. This is loading the whole file. This is loading the first 1000 rows. I think I removed it.
Based on that n rows, we can, it's 1000, 2000, we can do that.
Right. Here I think I was writing it. Reading data, reading large data. So either you do with n rows, it will load only, this was credit risk data. This is actually 1,50,000 data. Imagine it is 15 lakh or 1 crore 50,000 data. Not be possible. This line would execute in that case. It will throw memory fail, memory allow, not able to allocate out of memory actually.
N rows, okay, it will iterate past top 10 or?
If you mention n rows 1000, top 1000.
Top 1000. First 1000.
First 1000. This is what you'll do when if you want to see the data. First 1000 data you see, that's enough for understanding. You don't have to load 20 GB. Next is, this is what is very popular, chunk size. Right? Chunk size means, chunk size 1000 if you do, it is like, it will bring 1000 data to memory. You can see here, right? This is how it will do. For D means DF becomes an iterator. Okay, so D every time it will be 1000. First 1000, next 1000, next 1000.
Oh, okay.
Not it.
Loop type. But that's a 1000, it will read and it will
right.
हमारा ये concept है cursor का concept.
Same. Universally same concept. Okay, you don't bring all the data to memory because using this you can connect to file of size 1000 MB, 1000 GB and all that. So you have these options to help you there. Okay. Chunk size, just remember, it's very useful. If you see, in offices how, in production environment, how code are written, people will write this chunk size there because data will be very large actually if you're working in a production systems. Fine, right?
सेम हम लोग फॉर लूप चला सकते हैं एनरोज के लिए भी.
नहीं, एनरोज 1000 रोज
अच्छा,
till
मेमोरी आपने बोला ये मेमोरी में लाता है.
memory में लाता है actually.
ये memory
Enrows
में
is
लाता है.
first 1000 rows it will show.
Got the
Okay.
difference.
You have an option to skip rows also. If you don't want some rows not to be considered, skip rows and all that. But this is what is more common chance. Okay, but yeah, so be aware of that. You know, there is something like that. That's always important. Right? Okay, so last time we have learned pre-processing of categorical values, ordinal values, nominal values. We have learned. Now we have to understand how to deal with text data. Okay, so this is text data pre-processing.
अवंतिक अभी हमारा कितना कवर हो गया है आउट ऑफ हमारे इस कोर्स करिकुलम में कितना परसेंट कंप्लीट हो गया?
35%. Okay. So okay, so let's see this text data pre-processing. Text data is very important part of your analysis. Today there was a very nice use case that came. You know, people who are into technical writings.
Yes.
There are teams which do technical writing.
Yes.
They call it tech puffs, or you know, there may be different names. I mean, people who, you know, like different technical writing. Every company has a product. Like, you know, and somebody has to write the technical, like Cisco writes it, Juniper writes it. Every company will write the content. This nothing. I always thought this is very less tech. I mean, okay, they have to be from engineering background. They have to understand the product. I'm sure they will not be writing code. I was all you know, zero today. They are using machine learning to basically implement their search. I mean, whatever searching internal documents people are searching and all, right, and categorization of documents and all that. So they are extensively using this text analytics and all that. Okay, it's not it's in Juniper. That's the story of it. So yeah, so I was not aware of this. You know, even these teams use it. I thought, you know, it occurred to me actually. So that was a very nice case. Right now you can connect, right? Why? Huh?
I still used to think till now, okay, they are just not technical.
Just now you said right. Even I never thought. It never occurred. But today we're talking about that they have very good case, and the people are learning their machine learning to actually implement it, so that, you know, whatever tool they have now, it's not sufficient for the scale of data. So they want to use scikit-learn, machine learning, so to handle data at this level. Huh? 10 years, 8 to 9 years back. Yeah. Okay. So yes, text processing is important that way. Okay. So first let me load the data. Just writing something, no?
Yeah.
So this is a data frame that got created. Right? You now see, remember, if and this is just a simple data frame that you see in a lot of such cases, but what is important to know here is such texts needs to be consumed by your machine learning algorithms, isn't it? Right? Do you think algorithms can consume this text like this? No, right? It can only consume vectors.
1 and 0.
Numbers basically, right? It can only, that the term for this is they can only consume vectors. So what does mean? That's a fixed size vector, right? Your text can be the 4 alphabets, 6 alphabets, 6 words, 4 words, 15 words, 100 words. But your machine learning algorithms can only consume 4 words or 4 words or 15 words. Sorry, it can only consume fixed words, like 10 fixed size. If you train a model with 10 words, it will not take 11 words. Understood, right? This number of size of the feature vector was fixed, isn't it? If you see linear regression, the feature vector size was fixed.
Yes.
The same thing is applicable. So we have to convert this English words into fixed vector numbers. Clear?
Yes.
No matter what your situation, you have to do this. So there are a lot of ways. Okay. First, whenever you are dealing with text, right, you have to convert all of them to lowercase, do some cleaning of punctuations and all that, expressions, punctuations, all those cleaning you have to do.
Special characters as well.
Special character. Okay, so you can use regex to do some cleaning and all that. Understood why regex is required in Python? You have come across regex.
Yes.
Regex you can use to substitute all the punctuations, all those things. I'll be skipping that part. Okay, and I'll focus more on, and there is a natural language processing library that is important. So one by one I'll get there. So I'll just change some word. I'll add some sentences also. Just adding some words so that. Okay. Now I have to convert these words from sklearn dot
the pre-processing, it will use syntax or what?
Pre-processing is a library. Sorry, it should be text. Just need to see where it does go. It is pre-processing text only. Oh, feature extraction dot text. Sorry, not pre-processing. Feature extraction dot text. Right. Count vector. So count vectors are what will do. It will create one column for each word. Okay. CV count vectorizer. CV dot fit df dot text CV dot transform df dot. You can see it created a sparse matrix. If you want to see the sparse matrix, of course, because whatever lot of zero spaces will be there, it tries to combine it and create a sparse matrix. Or so that it takes minimal lesser size training becomes easier. So if you want to convert this to, you can see here, right? First, and we have to understand CV dot.
Only has created a 3 cross 15.
3 because 3 rows are there.
Yes.
15 because total 15 unique words are there. Right? You can see here, these are word column number of each word. 0 means R. That means first row has R word in it, isn't it? See this? How R?
Yes.
Right? So that's the whole drill. So understood, right? Each word means each column. Clear? If it is not clear, I'll just do something and it will be clear. I'll mention the column names for all of them.
It is assigning randomly.
Huh? Yeah, it is. In this case, it is alphabetical, but okay, it's alphabetical in this case. So these are the words and these are the column. Hello, keys. Or the first one, the first alphabet is good, right? See, good is in both of them. This part also good, this part also good. If you write 2 times good, right? See here, it became 2 here. Is it clear? Okay, I think the meaning is clear now, right? What does it mean? And 0 means R is 0th column, good is first column, hate is second column. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now what is this? This above line is converted into this, right? Just the word order is not maintained. Right? The first line earlier is converted into this line. Is it clear? So the text is vectorized now.
Yes.
Okay, it will just contain. And what is the value here? 0 means this word is not present, and non-zero number means how many times that word is present.
The second. The subsequent lines.
Right. Is it clear?
How you are correlating array this one to this one, like correlation?
R is this column, good is this column, hate is this column. That's it. Order, same order it is mentioning.
Second row.
Huh?
How's the second row?
Second row.
It is for column. This R means this column value.
Okay, column values.
Instead of 2, it could be 1, no, because good is good. You
Good means 2 times good will come, right? So this line will have 2 times good. This is count of the word. Wait, let me see if I can do that. From collections import.
R is first column, but one style.
you are trying to get the column name for each.
And the right order actually, whatever is coming here. So if I do order dictionary, it is actually converting that into the order. That's what I don't want. Okay, I have a solution then, but this is not solved by order dictionary then. Okay, I mean, in case this is creating some confusion to you guys, I want to fix it. Wait. Okay, now DB items. If I do, see here, hello word is coming here. I want the words in the right order. So what I can do is I can use sorted function. Right. It is sorting based on the first by default.
Yeah.
It will do that. Okay, and I want the first words of it, right? So map again, lambda x 0. Right, I got all the column names now in the right order. So this part calls what is this? This is your PD. PD dot data frame. Understood? What does this mean? First line has R, hello, how, you. Second line has 2 time good, 1 time hate, 1 time is, 1 time run, 1 time this, 1 time two.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes. Understood.
Understood, right? That's why I was trying to do this.
So wherever the 0, it is not there.
Not there, yeah.
1, it is present. 2, it is present twice. It is already present earlier, and it is repeating again.
Right.
So what converting columns?
So in your third row, can you add one more which is already present?
It will increment actually. Off you want to add.
Okay. In first line, you have added R. Second, can you just add R? ARE. Third line also you add R.
That means the first column will be 1, 1, 1, right?
Okay. Understood.
Right. Clear, right?
Yeah.
So this is the vector format of any text. So what is happening if you're passing hello, like tell me one text of using the words that is there above. So if I do this cv.transform, okay, just give me a text which contains the hello word. Hating is important part. Hating is important part. Right, if I do this, see here. So this is the see here. So given this text is converted into a vector of this. Okay, understood, right? So no matter what text you are giving, it will now vectorize into contents of this.
And that one not where so many words are there. There one column there. Okay. 10,000 words are there. One not there.
Right.
One column there.
That is why different techniques comes into picture. You're right. That, suppose your text have your data had you're vectorizing a book, right? It's like a lot of words. Like you get 1.5, 2 lakh columns. Okay, but there are techniques now which will deal with that. But this is what fundamentally it happens in count vectorizers. Clear? Okay, now I'll use.
Since you have used something from the above, like parting.
If I'm using something which is not there,
yes.
Okay, it will make it 0 because parting is not present earlier. Understood, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. Only 3, 1 will be there. Clear? Okay, but one thing you have noticed that hate and hating is 2 different columns.
Yes.
But as far as meaning is concerned, one column should be there for both of them, right? Do you agree with me? See, if I hate you, I am hating you. It conveys the same message, right? You are getting the same meaning. So you basically, and you cannot have different, derivations of a word for different column. right? You cannot have different column for different derivations of a word. I hates you. I know that's technically wrong English, but that's okay, right? So you basically want to bring these words into one column itself, isn't it? This is known as stemming. Okay, it's a huge, I mean, for this you have to use NLTK library. Import NLTK.
I'll take one more generic question. So some places, for example, here you're writing import NLTK, but if you see from sklearn, so what is difference? Same or it is different?
No, NLTK is a different library. It is not part of sklearn.
I get that. That I understand. So how you? So if you want to use a specific API from a library, then you are using from this.
Yeah. So like from sklearn is a package from which you are importing pre-processing or feature extraction.
Oh, sklearn is a package.
And here also NLTK is a package. Okay, but I'll be using, like if I'm using CV count vectorizer, I can use it directly, right? Because you imported that module from there, that class from there. Here I have to use this. I have to use actually stemmer. Where is that file? NLTK stem port stemmer. This will actually find the root of it. Okay. For example, port stemmer is equal to port stemmer. Okay, ps dot stem. Hate. Stem of hate is hate. Stem of hating is hate. Understood, right? If you use the stemmer for all the words of the above context, you will have lesser number of columns. You will require lesser number of columns, isn't it?
Yes.
Understood what is stemming? Similar to there is lemmatization. So now I'll just show it how to use stemming. Okay, stemming you will use it in the data frame stage only. For each row, I mean for each word you have to use that. Okay, and you have to use tokenizer also, so that you convert the list into words. And capital case is also there, capital case, small case. I think that count vectorizer itself is capable of doing it, right? See, capital hello and all that, it is taking care of it. Okay, I just need to take care of word tokenizer from NLTK tokenize import word tokenize. So what will word tokenize do? Word tokenize. Hello. Right? I don't actually have to tell that comma is something different. Right? See, though it is connected to this, it's separated out. So understood, right? So we will use word tokenizer. After word tokenizer, it will convert all the elements of the text into this different tokens, and on top of each token will your stemmer be applied, and whatever matches the condition will be, whatever is the conversion, that will be retained. So you have to do these two things. Okay, I'll do it now using pandas.
One is wording is like that capital letter. One is small letter. They are not divided to two column. Same or two column?
No, it's same column.
Same column.
Right, because that is what count vectorizer is actually taking care of. You don't have to bother.
Right, let's say instead of hello, I will add one more HELLO. So will it stem to hello?
See this? Oh, this one you're saying hello. See both of them. See hello. This is also hello.
Hell?
No, hell is different, right?
Exactly.
So it actually internally it maintains a tree.
Technically, yes.
So now we need to tokenize each sentence, then convert each sentence into, pass each sentence to stemmer. After passing, again you have to create the sentence. ठीक है, उसके बाद we'll pass that to our count vectorizer, right? And after that there are words like is the, those things are not important again, right? Is the, that is not very important to explain the context. Then we'll remove that also. Okay, so these three things we'll do now. But again, there are more things you can do. I'm just doing these 3-4 things.
So internally, like it is converting first into the list, then it is taking the for loop and taking the count of each word, then it is converting.
No, after using for loop, it is actually stemming.
Stemming, and then
count.
Then again converting them to sentence.
Right. Okay, the reason why I'm showing this is, we'll do this very often. Okay. So here come our text. This is our text, right? DF. Okay, so we have this. So df.text. So what we want to do for each of the word, we want to word tokenize. See, it will directly tokenize that. And this becomes a function which takes each line and execute, right? So it becomes this. So df okay. Then you do df dot text dot map dot, sorry, not map. What is that function? ps dot stem. It will actually stem each word. Sorry. So here, what it has to do, it will not take each line. The input is each word actually. Okay, so we cannot do it directly this way. Understood, right? Why it didn't work? Because PSSM take each word at a time. It does not take each line. Okay, so basically we have to define a function here, which will do that. Def stemmer underscore func. Each row it takes, right? It takes each row for